Hello everyone. I'm seeing a lot of discussions on YouTube and other social media regarding reprinting cards from the reserved list, especially with Masters 25 that is at the gate and will be released in nearly a month's time. A lot of players and a lot of Magic the Gathering enthusiasts want and are demanding Wizard of the Coast to reprint cards from the reserved list. And today I want to talk about legal liability and legal terms regarding reprinting the reserved lists. First of all, we have to consider that Wizard of the Coast has an official reprint policy. This reprint policy, it's public and everyone can read it and share it on other social media. First of all, we have to see that what the reprint policy tells us about the reserved list or reserved cards. The reprint policy, that is the reserved list, is there to maintain your confidence in the Magic game as a collectible. We've created this Magic the Gathering card reprint policy. It explains why we, Wizard of the Coast, reprint cards and lists which cards from past Magic sets will never be reprinted. Why we reprint cards? The Magic trading game has tremendous appeal as both a game and a collectible. For us, however, the Magic game is first and foremost a supreme game of strategy and skill. We choose to reprint cards because we believe the cards we reprint make for enjoyable gameplay, and all Magic players deserve an opportunity to play with these cards. Any card that isn't on the reserve list may be reprinted, and this is very important. The reserved card. The complete list of reserved cards appear at the end of this document. Reserved cards will never be reprinted again in a functionally identical form. A card is considered functionally identical to another card if it has the same card type, subtype, ability, mana cost, power and toughness. No card will be added to reserved list in the future. No card from the Mercadian Mask sets and later sets will be reserved. In consideration of past commitments, however, no card will be removed from this list. The exclusion of any particular card from the reserve list doesn't indicate that there are any plans to reprint that card. Therefore, Wizard of the Coast does a promise to Magic the Gathering collectibles and players that they will never reprint any card from the reserve list, and they say that they have the right to reprint any other card that is not in the reserve list. And this is what the discussion on social media is about. Has Wizard of the Coast the right to reprint cards from the reserve list? First of all, as I said, Wizard of the Coast made a promise that they will never reprint reserved list cards. They never did a contract with anyone that they will never do. Therefore, from a legal point of view, they have this right and they can breach the promise. Remember, they can breach the promise. But every promise has a consequence. There is nothing written, there is no contract, there is only a handshake that they will never reprint. In the policy it's stated perfectly that they will never reprint, but if they reprint cards from the reserve list, if they breach their promise, there are consequences that you as a player can sue Wizard of the Coast regarding loss of investment in the reserve list cards. Cards like the Power 9, they are the most expensive cards in Magic the Gathering, especially the Alpha and Beta, and therefore if these cards are reprinted, the value of these cards will go down. The loss of this value can be between 25 to 10%, but a reprint will surely make this cost of these cards lower. What will happen if Wizard of the Coast reprints reserve list cards? They will breach the promise, and they will in the short run gain a lot of money, because if you release a set with a release a set with a Black Lotus, with a Ancestor Recall, with the Moxes, with the Dual Lens, you're surely going to sell a lot of those sets, but you're going in the long run lose a lot of loyalty from your players and your collectors. Therefore, Wizard of the Coast, even if they are legally able to reprint cards from the reserve list, they will not do this. They will not break the promise, they will not break the policy that they have created, and therefore, because of the loss of loyalty of the long run, they cannot afford to do this. Also, there is another point to consider, that if you buy cards from the reserve list, you are trusting the company in keeping their word, you are trusting the company in the way they have advertised the reserve list, in the way they have advertised the point of not reprinting cards. Therefore, if they reprint cards from the reserve list, they will surely mislead you, and therefore you have ground for legal action. Another point to consider, that reprinting cards from reserve list will surely make investors very angry, and remember, investors do put a lot of money in Magic the Gathering, and if you lose this type of customers, you're going to lose a big bunch of your market. Therefore, Wizard of the Coast cannot go in this chaotic world. They cannot reprint reserve list cards. Yes, they will earn a lot of money in the short run, but they will lose a lot of money in the long run. Remember, trust and brand are very important for future. And if you lose the trust of your players, if you lose the trust and the brand image of the game, of your company, you will lose a lot in the long run. Yes, a lot of people complain about reserve list cards, but remember, this is only a game, and therefore if you want to have fun and you cannot afford, like me, those particular cards, have fun playing Standard. Standard is affordable when you compare the prices of the reserve list cards, and if you want to have fun with the Standard format. Leave me a comment below. What do you think Wizard of the Coast should do? Should they break the promise and reprint reserve list cards? And stay tuned to this channel for more interesting video about Magic the Gathering. Thank you very much.